that remote users, please keep your microphones muted unless actually speaking. And then please state your name for all motions, seconds, and roll call votes for all action items. Thank you. Item number 3 on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion. Deb.
Commissioner Lundberg moved
Second.
and seconded by Bastian.
Okay, motions been made and seconded to approve today's agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Leroy says aye.
Aye, Carissa.
I would rule that the motion carried. Thank you. Next item on the agenda, number 4, is the approval of minutes from our May 11th meeting. And hopefully all of you were able to view those minutes ahead of time, and so a motion to approve would be in order.
I make a motion to approve.
Motion by Lundberg,
Leroy will second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve the minutes from our May 11th, 2020 meeting. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign, motion carries. We'll move on to agenda item number 5, the department activity report. And I would call on our Director Schmitz.
thank you, Vice Chair Skillings. You have before you, members, the activity report of the department from the month of May 2020. I have nothing to add to this information that's already been published. So if you have any specific questions, I'll try to address those. Otherwise, I would recommend you order the report filed.
Hearing no questions, we order that the May 2020 department activity report be filed. We'll move on then to item number 6, the city council meeting recap. Again, Director Schmitz.
Thank you, Vice Chair Skillings. Members, during the May 19th City Council meeting, we saw the council approve additional details related to the Emerald Ash Borer grant program here that we received from the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources to include additional removals and then plantings. That's a multi-year grant with removals taking place this year in 2020 and plantings to take place next year in 21. That program and grant is being administered out of City Hall through the Community Development and Planning Office. Next item related to Park and Rec is that they received and ordered filed the 2020 City Services Survey. The complete survey is available on the city website. This is an annual survey that we randomly send out to citizens in town out of City Hall. And it's got some information, and I would recommend you take a look at that at your leisure. Also, the City Council accepted the donations you recommend they accept, and they discussed the gradual reopening of the city due to the coronavirus pandemic. June 2nd saw nothing specifically related to the Park and Recreation Department at the City Council meeting. So that's the report of Park and Rec activities related to the City Council meetings over the past month.
Thank you, Director Schmitz. Are there any questions or comments regarding those activities? Hearing none, we'll move on to item number 7, old business. And we have before us a RENU update from Director Schmitz.
Thank you, Vice Chair Skillings and members. The RENU update for the 3 major RENU projects includes, first of all, Johnson Park. We are viewing that project at approximately 99% complete. With the improved entrance, the German Street facade improvements, a larger central concourse, the additional plazas, the roof replacement, a new concession stand, and accessible unisex toilet near first base, and then the right field deck and backstop replacement along with other aspects. So the Johnson Park RENU project is almost entirely complete. And it will be completely wrapped up, I'm certain, within the next month. Second project would be Herman Heights Park, including the relocation of the entrance road, Monument Street, the creation of 2 parking lots, a large central one and a smaller one near the playground, along with parking lot infrastructure, sidewalks, and then the other second large project up there is the replacement of the retaining walls along Center Street. That entire project is approximately 20% complete and is on schedule for completion in the autumn. A reminder that the entire park, including Herman Monument, the playground, and the picnic shelters are closed for the summer season due to the construction. Finally, the largest of the 3 RENU projects includes the additions and improvements at the Recreation Center. These are all indoor improvements and additions, including the new aquatic center, the new playground, renovating the existing swimming pool into a gymnastics center, and then expanding the fitness center into the area that is presently the Herbeck Room. So the big news is that bid opening was this past Thursday, June 4, and there was a number of subcontractor bid packages. I think there may have been 30 approximate bid packages, and multiple bidders from each of these different trades and bid packages, and our construction management team of RJM Construction is completing the bid tabulations and the award recommendation. The good news is that basically the bids came in at or near budget. So that project is going to be going to the Oversight Committee tomorrow, June 9th, and then to the City Council, I imagine, the following Tuesday, June 16th, for award and full speed ahead, so to speak, at the Recreation Center RENU projects. So a reminder, the schedule includes starting construction approximately July 20th on the entire south half of the campus, including the former swimming pools, and locker room area. And that construction taking approximately a year. But the field house and fitness opportunities will be available on the north end of the building, until April. In April of next year, 2021, we will be closing the entire building, including the Vogel Fieldhouse area, until the end of the project. So next spring and summer, there will be no public access whatsoever at the Recreation Center until the project is complete in late summer of 2021. So that's the updates on RENU. Any questions about RENU?
Director Schmitz, this is Bob Skillings. And I'm wondering about the Herman Heights, the wall along Center Street. So there's a lower part, is that doesn't have any wall on it right now. Is that, how is that going to be mitigated? And then the steep bank behind the new bricks that are up, how is that going to be handled?
Great question, Vice Chair Skillings. First of all, there are going to be 3 terraces, 3 separate walls paralleling each other. So they're just working on the first wall, the lowest of the 3 walls. There will be a mid wall and then a top wall. So that basic cliff that you see now will be completely gone through the terracing of the 3-wall retaining system. The very lower portion towards the intersection of Summit and Center Street, where Herman Heights Park adjoins Harmon Park, will simply be feathered out, landscaped out, and mowed. It'll just be feathered out. There won't be a wall down there.
Okay, thank you.
Any other RENU-related questions?
Okay, thank you, Director Schmitz. So we'll move on to item number 8, new business. So 8.1, the Riverside Park Interpretive Signs Grant Acceptance. Director Schmitz?
Thank you, Vice Chair Skillings and Commissioners. You have before you a recommendation to forward onto the City Council that would be to offer a resolution and waive the reading accepting a grant from the New Ulm Area Foundation of $4,000 to fund interpretive signs in Riverside Park. This is an initiative of the Riverfront Development Advocacy Group, RDAG, founded by the Chamber of Commerce's 2020 visioning efforts and the Park and Recreation Department. These signs will probably be placed up on the deck. The new outdoor classroom event deck that will be constructed this year on the river side of the building. You know, we have an accessibility project taking place there where we're going to have a new ramp system and along the north side of the building, and then a observation event deck, outdoor classroom on the east side of the building, where people will be able to access the Environmental Learning Center through an ADA compliant ramp and deck. And that is where we think we'll be placing these interpretive signs that will include themes related to the Goosetown history and New Ulm's history, along with the River Valley history and its environment. There are no matching funds required for this grant acceptance, and I think it's wonderful that the New Ulm Area Foundation has offered this generous grant to the City of New Ulm and Riverside Park for environmental education. I recommend you forward this on to the City Council for their acceptance.
Thank you, Director Schmitz. Is there a motion to recommend this to the City Council?
This is Carissa Bugler. I motion to recommend this to the City Council, the $4,000 to accept the grant from the New Ulm Area Foundation.
I'll second.
Is there a second? Okay, motion's been made and seconded to offer this resolution to recommend to the City Council and waive the reading. And do we need to take the roll call on this?
Yes, please.
Okay, are there is there any further discussion? Then,
Director Schmitz, just one quick question. Director Schmitz, will this Riverfront Development Advocacy Group do they have a historian or expert to help with the signage?
Commissioner Bugler and commissioners, they do, but they will also be working with the Brown County Historical Society and the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources to make certain that the historic and environmental information is accurate.
Okay, thank you.
is there any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, please read the roll call.
Commissioner Lundberg,
Yes.
Commissioner Bastian,
Yes.
Commissioner Floor,
Yes.
Commissioner Bugler,
Yes.
Commissioner Skillings.
Yes.
Motion carried unanimously.
Resolution carries. Thank you. So that will be a recommendation from us to the city council at their next meeting. Item number 8.2 is donations. Director Schmidt.
Thank you, Vice Chair Skillings and Commissioners. I will read into the record a rather lengthy list of donations offered to the city over the past month, most of which are directed to the German Park Outdoor Performing Arts Center Amphitheater. So the first big group is definitely amphitheater funding. So they were all cash donations. $300 from Dave and Carrie Borkert, $100 from Rick and Kathy Van Rokel, $100 from Chris and Jenny Vorwerk, $100 from Barbara Reese, $10 from Dorothy Harias, $50 from Carol Ackerson, $50 from Randy and Pam Krasmarzik, $50 from Herbert and Joanne Wolf, $50 from Mary Borsted, $50 from Dennis and Brenda Hoffmeister, $100 from Marie Golden, $100 from Elroy and Barbara Ubel, $100 from Donald and Michelle Wendell, $100 from Marlis Zeta, $200 from Professor Jack Minch, $250 from Jeffrey and Lisa Golden, $500 from Otto and Marion Schenk, $25 from Les and Everall Ringdahl, $50 from Karen Lauren Shee, $50 from Wayne and Sharon Plagge, $50 from Chuck, Mary and Peter Hussman, $100 from Charlotte Fisher, $100 from Edward and Bernal Osberg, $100 from Harlan Melhop, $100 from Maggie and Doug Schwab, $100 from Mavis Davis and Mary and Jeff Hohensee and Sherry Davis, $100 from Dennis and Marge Fredrickson, $100 from Dane and Naomi Stewart, $200 from Dale and Mickey Witt, $300 from Daniel and Joyce Myers, $10,000 from Kathleen Sullivan and the Sullivan family in honor of Timothy E. Sullivan, $100 from Kelly Emdy, $500 from James and Jacqueline Schutzel, $200 from Willis Lochner, $200 from Dennis Warda, $50 from Daryl and Gwen Bry, $100 from Robert and Mary Ellen Domeyer, $200 from Barb and Dan Riley, $25 from Teresa Keevy, $20 from Charlie Hartman, $200 from Robert and Betty Wire, $25 from Jim Becker, $100 honoring Janet and Terry Dempsey from Maxine Eitzenhauser, $50 from Jim and Connie Bartles, $500 from the Sleepy Eye Concertina Club, $100 from Linda and Neil Schmazel, $100 from John and Connie Mitchell, $500 from Sharon and Wade Olson, $100 from the Van Ronkel Charitable Fund, $100 from Robert and Bonnie Scherlinger, $200 anonymously, $1,000 from Bob and Liz Hinnenthal, $100 from John and Mary Klug, $100 from Greg and Ann Simonet and family, $500 honoring Janet and Terry Dempsey from Margot Madsen, $500 from Cletus and Rosemary Franta, and $100 from Paul W. Warschauer. The next gift is for a tree in Herman Heights Park, $150 from the Brown County Master Gardeners. And finally, a park bench valued at approximately $1,000 from Dr. Ann C. Vogel, honoring the late Randall Earl Krenning that will be placed in the Pollinator Park on the south end of town. So the grand total is $19,405 in cash and a $1,000 valued bench, for a grand total of $20,405. I recommend you forward this on to the City Council for their formal acceptance.
Thank you, Director Schmitz, and thank you to all those donors. Quite an amazing and generous list. So we need a motion and a second to recommend acceptance of these donations to the City Council.
This is Leroy Flora, and I make a motion, we move it on to the City Council.
This is Carissa. I'll second that motion.
Motion's been made and seconded to recommend these donations. Any further discussion?
Director Schmitz, just a quick question. This seems like we have been receiving quite a few donations, especially for the amphitheater. Was there a solicitation that happened that a lot of these individuals kindly responded to?
Yes, Commissioner Bugler and Commissioners. Most of these donations came in via a flyer that went out to all subscribers of the New Ulm Journal newspaper, and also was inserted into the Shopper newspaper. So that was approximately 16,000 homes and businesses that this flyer got into.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Commissioner Lundberg,
Yes.
Commissioner Bastian,
Yes.
Commissioner Floor,
Yes.
Commissioner Bugler,
Yes.
Commissioner Skillings.
Yes. Motion carried. And that recommendation will go to their next City Council meeting. Thank you. Item number 9, staff reports.
Thank you, Vice Chair Skillings and Commissioners. First of all, I'll start out with the COVID-19 update. The Minnesota governor this past Friday further opened up the state in a variety of different facilities. So we are now going to be opening up the recreation center this Wednesday of this week for adult fitness and exercising only, and walking track for members and punch card users age 15 and older. There will be some reduced hours, and of course all of the COVID guidelines need to be adhered to. Also, we are planning to move ahead, as the governor has allowed, with the opening of some aquatic facilities. Over the next couple of weeks, we plan to open up the 2 wading pools, and as soon as the state of Minnesota inspects the splash pad out at North Park, we would be planning to open the splash pad also. So sometime over the next few weeks, all 3 of those amenities we expect to open for youth to enjoy those aquatic facilities during the summer. There will be reduced capacity, so we will have staff attendance at the 2 wading pools to limit the number of people allowed into the 2 wading pools at one time. So those are kind of the 2 big updates related to the virus. As you know, playgrounds have previously reopened. The dog park, BMX skate park have previously reopened, and parks in general never closed as long as physical distancing was adhered to. We are continuing to review state and federal guidelines to determine whether or not programs and programming can begin for the summer, both youth and adult programming, so we'll have more information about that in the coming weeks. So that's the virus update. Other projects, I did mention the splash pad. The Riverside Park building, ramp and deck will begin soon and be completed by the end of the year or end of summer is our expectation. just a lot of other maintenance work that's taking place now, including mowing. I think that's the extent right now. We're certainly beginning to plan for next year's budget, and we will certainly have a smaller budget next year than we do this year. So we're working out some of those details, as we have had a reduction in revenues due to the virus this year, and and a somewhat of a loss in our decrease in expenditures. So we're working out those budgetary details over the next few months. The glockenspiel, I guess I should update that. We are anticipating our new control system and the final 7 figurines arriving here in New Ulm in the next few weeks, and getting that project complete, hopefully by the end of the month. I think that's it. The German Park Amphitheater we did talk about with all these donations. Work continues there for completion late summer. We are still fundraising. There's approximately $250,000 remaining in our $1.2 million goal. And the major element related to that would be the shade structure on the top accessible row. We really want to get that shade structure put in the package of construction this year. So this final $250,000 is quite necessary and important to complete the fundraising. I think that's it related to staff updates. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Schmidt. Item number 10 is Commissioner reports. Hearing no reports from the commissioners. Does anyone have anything further in terms of questions, concerns? If not, then the date of our next meeting would be Monday, July 13th at 4 p.m. in the City Hall Council chambers. And hearing nothing further, this meeting is adjourned.